A pleasant day to everyone. I am Emilio Peralta. So for today's video, I am going to talk about English Teaching 601. So I have decided to have the topic to share my idea about how does language articulate identity. I want to start with a single word that every Bisaya soul knows. Puhon. If you try to translate puhon into English, the dictionary will tell you it means hopefully or in the future. But to us Cebuano, it is so much more because it means it is a prayer, a humble surrender to destiny, or a promise that good things are coming. When we say puhon, we are not just merely speaking, we are revealing our Bisaya heart. So we are saying who we are, being patient, faithful, and optimistic. This is how language expresses identity because it is not just a collection of words, it is the ID card of our soul. Today, I want to explore how our language defines who we are through the three key pillars. First, the worldview, second, the social circles, and third, our history. Now let's go to the first pillar. Point number one, the worldview lens, because it says how we speak shapes how we see. The first one, the action culture. In Cebuano, we put the action first. We don't say, I am going. Instead, we say, mulakaw nako. This shows a culture that is focused on the action or the movement and the moment rather than the ego or the word I. So it means to say focus on the verb, on the action, not on the subject. Second idea, the Kuan connection. Think about the word Kuan. It is a word that means everything and at the same time nothing. To understand Kuan, you have to be in the circle. You have to be with the same people, with your friends. It shows that our identity is communal, means to say we have one identity. Because we understand each other without needing perfect words because we share the same light. Third idea, directness. Cebuano is known for being isog or for being bold. Why? Because we are direct and honest. We always say how do we feel, what's inside of us. This linguistic grid defines the Bisaya identity as one of the resilience and transparency. Like we really say so what we feel. And most people, especially the Filipino in Luzon, they said Cebuano are really hard to please. Now let's continue to the point or the second pillar, which is the social circle. The social signaling and the taglish. Now, how we use language to fit in. So, first example is the code switching. Notice we change our identity, that we change the language we use when we are angry. So, we might revert to our mother tongue to express our deep emotion. It would be easier to say our anger using our mother tongue rather than using English. But when we are in an interview, we switch to English to signal or to show professionalism. But in the case sometimes it's mixed. Like when we are teaching as a teacher, we use the English and then we switch to Cebuano to have a clear uh, to clarify ideas. Now, second idea, the conyo versus the canto. The conyo means like the mix of English and Cebuano or the English and Tagalog, okay, versus the canto, which is the colloquial. The way we mix Tagalog, Cebuano, and English tells the world where we went to school, like what school we're from, like who our friends are, and where we grew up. Third point is the badge of belonging. We use language as a secret handshake. Using local slang like lods or petmalu isn't just about being trendy, but it tells us, or it's about saying, I belong to this generation and this culture. Nowadays, the younger generation have their own badge of belonging, so they use their own words or the slang. Now, let's continue to the point three, which is the echo of our history. Now, our words are our map of our past. So let's start with the Spanish connection. When we say la mesa or the table, or when we say susi or the key, we are speaking of our colonial history. We talk how long, we talk like how long Spain colonized us, that we have learned specific words that we learned from the Spaniards. Now, our identity is a mix of indigenous strength and foreign influence. Second idea, the survivor identity. Well, what does it mean? It means many of our native words for the family and nature have survived centuries of change. So every time we speak our local language, we are performing an act of cultural survival. So no matter how many colonization or how many yes influence that we may have, so we have to say we are still here. Now to sum up, remember that language does have three things for our identity. First, it shapes our worldview, the Puhon perspective. Second, it defines our social circles, how we connect with others, how we fit in. And thirdly is it preserves our history, the story of our ancestors, where we came from. Now, to close with this idea, language is the breath of our culture. It gives us life because when we speak our mother tongue, you are not just communicating information. You are not merely conveying information. You are breathing life into your identity. So, speak it with pride because as long as we have our language, we will never lose who we are. Dagang salamat and puhon, may we all continue to cherish the voices that we make us who we are. Proud Cebuano.